Go check. There's the name right there. You can check it out for yourself. Right? Um, Anatolia, now Turkey. An inscription of Barakib, king of Samal, concerning his own royal deeds. It is dated 720 BC. These are just the only pictures. There's pictures and pictures of these when you look them up by their name or whatever. Right?
Modern day Turkey.
Right? Modern.
But this is even before Ottoman. This is 700 BC.
But then, like, remember, look, they got the head covered up. When you see the head covered up, you already know what's up. Right? Not just because there's more of them again. Because what we want to do, right, is take away the idea that people think other nations don't know about the West. Right? Because it's one family. It's one family, Moorish nation. Look at the Fez in Turkey.
Yeah.
You know, on stone stuff with people with, you know, with the good beards. You know what I mean? Right? For what? Just because? Right? Right? Syria. Now watch these guys now in Syria. Right? Like the dervishes. Right? Everybody knows about us except us. How everybody know about us except us? Right? I just want to put this one out there, but this one's pretty good.
Etruscan.
Right? Etruscan.
Terracotta.
Now, this is the Etruscan right here.
600 BC.
Right? So anybody who's Etruscan, here's your ancestors.
That's your people.
That's your peoples. So you tell me that you're not Moors, you're crazy. You have a problem. Right? You gotta show allegiance to the Moors. Look at your ancestors right here. Everybody go tell everybody. You know what I mean? Etruscans are Moors, dark-skinned people. Right? And you know, when they start talking terracotta and all that, you already know.
Yeah.
Right? 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 The gut, no. No. Akhenaten. Right? Big man on campus.
Everyone knows about
Right? Big man on campus. Right? Forget what you heard about, you know, hermaphrodite and stupid stuff. Right? Brought back the concept of Allah. Right? Brought back the concept. One God. The eye at the top of the pyramid. Allah. Same thing that Akhenaten dropped.
Like you said, before that, this guy brought it back to the one.
Right? And then with his fez on, with the Egyptian stuff on there. With the fez on and the Egyptian stuff.
Put the thing on the top.
Put it on the top. Just because? Because it's one family. To stop listening to these idiots out there talking about all these different cultures of whatever. Yo, it's all Moors. It's all Moors. Don't let them fool you. Right? Don't let them fool you. Right? Pharaohs again. Fezzes. Right? Like, there's the name. You know, you can go check. It's not stuff I'm making up. There's information that's out there. Information out there. That there's Kemet. And this is right, him being depicted as a god. with a fez on in Kemet, and they're not Moors? Really? Like, you really gonna say that you're not Moors?
No, he's an Egyptian.
That, like, he's the Egyptian pharaoh,
That's it.
right? He's
No.
Kemetan, he's Nubian, he's, you know, African, whatever, everything. He's,
Yeah.
yo, they'll say everything, and as soon as it comes to Moors, breaks. Why?
The real deal.
That's a conspiracy.
They don't want to talk about
There
the
must
real
be
deal.
something going on. You don't want to talk about the real deal. The real deal is what Noble Drew Ali brought back to the Moors. That's the real deal.
Yeah.
Nationality and birthrights. Because if you have, like, and all we can talk about is we can do 200 classes on the readings for every meeting. Just starting at a warning from the Prophet to be read in every meeting. And just analyze that. What's warning mean? Well, you know, warning is from who? From the Prophet. Okay, what's a prophet? You know, you look up prophet, see what that is. Oh, well, if this guy's making these type of claims, like, maybe you should probably listen to what he's saying.
Hear him out.
Because, yeah, maybe you should hear him out. Maybe you should just hear him out. Because, like what we're dealing with, you know, the people and, you know, man said, what's all you guys doing here? Only a handful of y'all gonna be saved. Right? That's the ones that I can immediately just go out like this and my power get them. All those other ones, they better see that something happened over there. Like, hey, what happened over there? Something just went on. Grab those guys. Hold on a second and run in that direction and try to get in too. Instead of, you know, filming, you know, I'm gonna put this up on the World Star and get some views. No, you should be running toward your salvation. You know what I mean? Playing with it, right? So when it's like, and then let's just also say this, right? Let's also say this, just because, just hit me, just remember, Judge Joe Brown getting arrested.
Yeah, I heard about that, dude. I don't know
Judge
why
Joe
or
Brown.
what's up. I don't know
Really?
the details, but yeah, I heard about that one.
Yo, Judge Joe Brown got arrested.
Today? Yesterday?
I don't even know when it was, you know, but all I know, he got
last
arrested.
2 days or something.
Right?
He's a nigger.
So,
they arrested him like
right? Just because we know who it is, right? It makes it comedic, you know what I'm saying? Right? Because it's that, you know, this guy's a judge, he plays a judge, and then he's getting the freaking, right? But okay, right? So the star of television show Judge Joe Brown has been arrested and charged with 5 counts of contempt of court in Tennessee. Court officials in Memphis said Monday. Shelby County juvenile court officials said the 66-year-old Brown was sentenced to 5 days in jail after causing an outburst Monday in a child support hearing. Brown is running in the Democratic primary for Shelby County District Attorney General. Magistrate Judge Harold Hal Horn charged the former TV judge with contempt of court, said Chief Magistrate Judge of the Shelby County Juvenile Court. He darn near caused a riot in the courtroom. He had people so inflamed. Brown could not be reached for comment. Neither jail officials nor juvenile court officials knew whether he had retained a lawyer. Reporter Brown, the former TV judge was representing a woman who had been brought in on a warrant in a child support case. Brown said, and was yelling repeatedly, challenging Horn's authority, and even addressing his comments to the crowd people inside the courtroom. What does he know, right? That
It's very interesting.
they're going to put out there that this guy who used to play a judge for people in jail and all that type of stuff and, you know, whatever, give people fines and whatever like that.
Sets the rules right and wrong.
Sets the right and wrong, plays that neutral position, right? Is now defending somebody and his position is challenging the authority. That he's on the info. Because you're not challenging the authority unless you're studying about status, the jurisdiction, improper persona, you know what I mean? Jus sanguinis versus jus soli, and you have to know that if you're if that's what they're saying that he's in contempt of court for. If he's in contempt of court and they're saying that it's because he challenged the judge's authority,
Yeah, there's something
then
up
he
there.
knows something.
Yeah, there's something up there.
He knows something, right?
Be interesting to read those
Yeah,
transcripts.
see what
What? Yeah, I mean,
they probably got rid of those.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Got rid of those.
Say
Long
black
time.
out.
Long time, right? So now everybody, right? There's Vishnu. Everybody knows Vishnu,
Rocking.
right? I don't know what else is going to be under there, whatever that is, but looks very familiar. It's something we've been showing the whole time. This particular headwear. That, for the record, that's why you haven't been seeing the fez in the last few classes. To show people you don't need a fez to be a Moor. It's just, you know, it's like it's your birthright. You know what I mean? It, you know, baseball hat, do-rag, whatever, you're still a Moor. You don't have to compromise like
Well,
that. You know what I mean? You know, right?
I think you have to be on a
Right.
certain path, not path,
And
to be in a certain jurisdiction.
right. Because, you know, remember, it's jus sanguinis.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
It's about the blood. So
Yeah, I mean, but-
you're you know, we're just showing that everybody else does it. Everybody else got fezzes,
Yeah.
and they go, you know, they've been at fezzes. They got fezzes in stone and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Why they got fezzes in stone? Just
Just because?
because?
No, but ultimately, what
You know
I'm
what I
seeing
mean?
the issue being is that everyone with Asiatic origin is more, but they are not. They are in propria persona. No, they're
The pro se.
pro se, but they're also civil mortus, right?
Mhm.
Because they're all in a dead position, right? So ultimately, it's not about the fez, but it's about proclaiming.
Right. That's why you already said. If you don't do anything else, proclaim your nationality. If you don't do anything else,
So the fez
buy a
is-
fez.
The fez is important. The fez isn't important, but it's an indication possibly.
Right.
Of
It has an effect.
Yes.
Because if they got stone fezzes, obviously,
Yeah.
you know, if you got, you know, people got the frame, you know what I mean, the framed Moor standing on the whatever.
Yeah.
What you got? Like, what do you think that is? Just some poppy show?
Yeah, not for no reason.
You know what I mean? When people have like couch, $50,000 couch and whatever like that. You know, that's like Moroccan, Arabic,
No one to know
whatever stuff
quality
that,
or whatever
yeah,
design or something.
because they know what's up.
Well, also you have to think
You know what I
about
mean?
the type of effort that would have gone into making such a thing. Would have probably taken someone
For real.
with some skill, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
you wouldn't be making something that was, you know, you're not making a picture of you know, I don't even know what
Who would be the other? Yeah.
example to make, but you're not making a picture of some dude sitting at a desk,
Yeah,
right? You're making you're chiseling out of stone
yeah.
a representation of a man with a
Of-
fez
yeah,
on,
yeah,
right? A god,
yeah,
right?
right. There's Vishnu again.
I mean, you know, it would be interesting. Interesting to find out how long it takes to make one of these, for example.
For real.
You got to know it's probably going to be a day, 2 days, 3 days, right?
Yeah, depending on skill.
Right. So
It's
you
all
got
about
to know.
skill, yo.
You got to know then that was important.
Yeah. Persian Empire again. Like, these are not some pale people. No way. Right? Nobody's carving nothing out of whatever for some pale people. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Right? You know, they're gonna spend so much money. Like just look around. You know what I mean? Like artifacts are ancient. There's no modern artifacts. Unless it's some building that they built, how tall it is, or
some
you know what I mean,
nonsense like that.
how much
The tallest
somebody
or widest
ate
or-
something and they get an award or whatever. But everything that they're using up in their museums or whatever is ancient, and it's ancient for them. For some of us, that's modern stuff.
I was just gonna say that basically that ancientness is just to tie them to their idea of history.
Of history, so they have some reference points,
Right.
you know. But every reference point is Moors.
Yeah.
Every reference point, everywhere in the world, digging up all these things with fezzes.
Something very Sphinx-like. Like very Sphinx-like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. The winged bull, Shedu. Right. Philistine, they got theirs. Now this was an interesting one right here coming up. Entrance of Mehmed II into Constantinople
Okay.
by Benjamin Jean Joseph Constant, right? And then there's another picture by Fausto Zonaro, right? So this is the one from Benjamin Constant. Right? So this is the Benjamin Constant picture.
So he painted this, but that's his depiction.
Right, this is his depiction.
Fezzes, Moors, turbans.
Right. This is his depiction of, you know, whatever they took, the depiction of the entrance of Mehmed II. Okay. And then this is the other one by Fausto Zonaro. It's supposed to be the same entrance, right? But the imagery, the conspiracy is on with the imagery, just like what you're saying. Tie themselves to the history, right? Have their own painter paint the picture and include them in the picture, so they can be there.
And you still see some fezzes, some
Right, yeah,
turbans.
right,
you still
right.
see, you know what I mean?
Well, you see, well, that's the thing.
But they're intermixed now.
Well, this is the thing that you know, it's not a sense of putting them on a negative, right? I'm showing they're honoring the Moors. They took a picture of Moors and repainted it and put them in it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well,
There's
you
a
know,
reason
it's,
I want to
it's
be
what,
in
why
that,
you gonna
or
take that
that
picture?
likeness, right?
Why wouldn't you find some pilgrims or something? You know
No,
what I
but
mean?
I think this is to
Whatever, you know?
I think this is to give them validity, though, right? It's
But
to give-
exactly, to get clout, to get status.
Yeah, but ultimately, I think it's. I mean, this is where their karma's going wrong. It's robbing the true nature of things.
But remember that every single European
Oh, it's connected.
is connected to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Every one of them is connected to that. And they have obligation. Like, they have obligation. There's not nothing to discuss. it's only discussable because majority of our people, who are the ones that are supposed to be making the claim that we're the actual, and you're the,
Yeah.
right?
It's abandonment.
Abandonment. Because everything's already been told. The Hindus came out, told you with Vishnu with a fezan. You don't want to hear them. They're not your brother because they got straight hair and we can't be relative. What are you talking about? Like this one family, you didn't see Vishnu with a fezan? What's the argument? You know what I mean? Why is that not your brother when they got feathers over there? How are they not your brother when they see me, they're calling me Sadhu? Oh, Sadhu. Why? Because they have no hair, and then I've been growing my hair, and that's like, you know, whoa to them.
Exactly, right?
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
You never cut it ever? Whoa. You know, you're just like Sadhu. And then they sit down and they have a conversation with
Yeah,
you,
then
we'll
you,
break it
yeah,
down to
then
you.
you start,
What it is.
you know, you
know
and the
what I
next
mean?
guy there in the conversation.
Yo. Right?
Just reasoning with the
But
next
who,
brother.
but who does that? Right? Who does that? Family. Brothers, sisters, right? Relatives, right? Friends, whatever. That's what you do. Nation. That's what it's about. You're not worried about am I Christian, am I whatever. You're just, oh, you're the same nationality? Oh, yeah, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go do something. You're Moroccan? Come on now, we got a little bar or whatever. You know? And they know everywhere. You know, Funan even, right? It's Cambodia or something. This is just stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
Just info. Right? Like information age. On top of that, we have internet.
Yeah.
On top of that, Aquarian age. On top of that, you got all these cycles going on right now, you know, with cosmic alignment and all that. And things just, you know, happening right now. You know. Again, Cambodia, again. Okay. And then, oh yeah, he marked his fez, he's a Mason. Right? Right? You know? Forget that. It's Moors all over the place. Right? Everybody's waiting for us to get down. We don't want to get down. Everybody's waiting for us to get down. We don't want to get down. Trying to pretend like people don't know.
Yeah.
Like you can say, you know, yeah, well, I'm African, you know what I'm saying? And I came over here on a slave ship, and then we did. People looking at you like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You know, where you from? Cambodia. Oh, yeah? Well, we got these in Cambodia. We don't know anything about anybody coming over on any slave ships or nothing like that. Matter of fact, y'all came over here with some boats and y'all were throwing us some stuff.
Yeah. Well, but there is some, not truth, but there is some evidence that they did bring some people over.
Yeah. Just like Noble Drawley said, few faithful Moors. Few slaves. Few.
Then they're gonna embellish that to make it seem like
Right, you know.
the whole Western Hemisphere.
As usual. Right, as usual. Again, you know,
It's all about
Vietnam, Harihara. Right? Then, oh, he's a Mason. He has on the apron right there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right?
Well, that's the sash, right?
Yeah. Fez is up. Right? And again, you know, family, Vietnam, right? And we talked about Vietnam that we talked about when they were slaughtering Europeans and all that stuff and sending brothers back home. And that's verified, right? That's verified. That's because of, the calls that we get, right? All types of people. But just called us, yeah, man, I had some family in that. When they went to Vietnam, they were like, yo, am I in New York right now?
Really?
Where am I right now? Like,
Interesting.
like culture shock. Culture shock. End up just staying there.
Yeah, why am I going? This is home. This is it.
Yo, end up just
I'm
staying
good.
there.
That's it. I'm good.
That's how people look like people.
Yeah.
Right? People, someone end up staying there. And then some of them got sent back home, like protected, like don't worry. You know what I mean? Be over here because the shooting coming from that way,
Don't
so
worry, just trust it.
you know what I mean? Don't worry, we're not trying to set you up, bro. You know what I mean? We're family. We got you. We know you got caught up in something. Right? Yeah. No, it's not even something that is hidden. Like all these pictures are from my lunch today at work.
Yeah.
That's on Google Images. That's
Boom, picture. Okay,
scroll
print
down.
that.
Oh,
Okay.
there's one.
Print that.
Oh, there's one. Right, right, all over the place. They're not even hiding it no more, right? Or is it all starting to come out because they realize that the Moors are waking up now, and they can't they can't play the hiding game anymore now. They can't play the black guys and whatever. No, no.
No one. Well.
Right? Enough of y'all been put on notice that you can't even hide anymore. Enough of them been put on notice that they can't even pretend like they don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Like even just somebody today, right? Linked me. Had a court thing. You know what I mean? Their name is like at the top of the list. It's first time. They just had some little thing. They just wanted to go see what's up. You know what I mean? So they sent their paperwork, whatever like that. Right? Go in there, saw their name on the list, going on the list. When theirs came up, I started to save that one, put them to the end, and then had them sit there all day.
This just happened?
And when the end
today.
came. And when the end came.
Right?
The man went up
His
and
name's
said,
high on the list, right?
Mhm.
His name's high on the list,
Yeah,
right? Like
A,
he's
B.
a B or something.
No, but I'm saying, was he his national name? National name?
Yeah, went in the status. Straw,
But went in
the
the straw.
straw coming at you, them sending straw at you for some obligation, and you challenging their claim. You know what I mean? And then they went as a national.
Okay.
Right? So this is their first time going through this. So
Right.
they never experienced this before ever. So they just gave me a little quick rundown, right? So we went in there, and then, our name was on the list, but then they skipped us and had us sit there all
They
day
bumped us to the end. Wait.
to the end,
But there's a
like
reason
to the
that
direct end, and the whole time that they're just like,
what the hell is this? This is
what
bullshit.
the hell is this?
Write letters for this. Bump
Right?
down.
I got bumped down.
How is
So,
this not working in my
that's
favor?
that's where the conversation stopped, right? So I told him, so why they bump you down?
What? Yeah.
Like, why they bump you down?
Mm-hmm.
Well, was your name on the list? Yeah. Your last name is C? Yeah. Okay, they called you? Yeah. But everybody else before you went? Yeah. Everybody else after you went? Yeah. No stopping, no nothing?
Nothing.
No. You just go think about that. Why they bump you? I will talk to him tomorrow and see where he's at. Right? So I don't even know what happened with the situation, but he's home, so it couldn't have went that bad if you came back home.
Yeah.
If they didn't kidnap you, then you did something right. Just like Noble Drawley said, you know what I mean? All I want, just let me see him more do something right. Just one of y'all.
I'd be surprised.
I'd be surprised if more would do right.
Yeah.
Just one. This is how much people done sold out. Imagine so many people sold out. You came to save your people, right? Now again, true. He's a prophet, so he already knows what's up. He knew what was gonna go down and everything. He knew all the parties from the jump when they came in, thinking they're gonna play around with something, right?
Well, as well as these are old, these are souls that have come back again, right? I mean, he has the ability to see the future.
Right. With others.
Yeah.
It's almost funny.
Inca nobleman.
Inca noblemen, looking like some Zulus or something.
But the joke is, the Euros used to rock that fashion style too.
Yeah.
So they're rocking this before the Euros came with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
That one,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if it's dark-skinned people,
And the Incas
then
are
they're
so-
Moors.
Yeah.
Simple.
Mhm.
If they're dark-skinned people, they're Moors. Right? There's another turban there. Right? Looking like Ren. Right, and then don't forget, you see he has a little tassel right there, right? There's a little tassel, so you know that he's got something under there. Don't get it twisted. You know? Tassel earrings. Don't get it twisted. Feathers up. Right? The turban and the tassel earrings. Telling you, right? So Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, and again, it's not some worshiping crap, right? We don't worship people, right? We honor people for their works and deeds. Noble Drew Ali did it for everybody, like did it, right? Savior of humanity. In this electrified age, men are racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be. When riches seem to be their only pursuit to be obtained anyway and at any cost. When selfishness, avarice, greed, and lust dominate their very being. When humanity in general is left at the mercy of those who have no mercy in them. It is truly wonderful and astounding to see one come into this mad human drama for the sole purpose of saving humanity, losing all sight on those things worldly. Right? It's like Yahshua said, in this world but not of this world.
Right.
Right? So he's giving us reference points to show what frequency he's coming on.
Yeah.
Right? Coming as he does, with a message for the nations in somewhat the same manner as did Yahshua, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and other prophets of their day. So for all those idiots out there who want to say Noble Drew Ali was a Christian and all this type of stuff or whatever, right? Savior of humanity says Yahshua. It doesn't say Jesus like Circle 7 says Jesus.
Yeah.
Even though he already explained Jesus is justice. So don't even look at some European or some brother and think that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what happened? Is that what
Right.
happened with that red book, that someone put that in there? I mean, to me, I ask myself that question, right? Because
Well, part of it is that he knew that majority of our people were Christianized.
so
You know what I mean? So that's what he went for.
Yeah, he was using that straw.
Using where they were at. Yeah, using that
straw
straw to get them. Yeah.
Well, to let them focus beyond that to his actual
Right,
work.
because he didn't just bring some Jesus talk. He
Yeah.
brought what their holy scriptures don't have, that should be included in it, so they can get the full perspective of why they worship Jesus and all that.
You realize that there was
You
so
know?
much counter moves going back and forth, basically, on this, right?
Coming as he does, with a message for the nations, in somewhat the same manner as did Yahshua, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and other prophets of their day. Only the things of this prophet's day differ from the ills of the days of the past, and yet the remedy of the ills of today is about the same as the remedies for the days past, all turning about to pivot love for humanity. Humanity must be lifted from the unwholesome depths of poverty, misery, and suffering, and placed on the solid rock of salvation. There are some who claim to do this, but upon investigation, one finds that they have slouched under the wings of their cross to extract from those who come to them means by which they can have pleasures of this life, while they point their followers to joy after death. Right? He's talking about all those package sellers, right? All those package sellers that get people's fiat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then they swindle them,
Right.
and then they jack them for 1,500, 2,000, or whatever for some papers that cost $5 to print,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then tell them that they're gonna go and they have to go do this filing, and then when you do the filing, you have to go send the thing to the rent, and then over there you have to go do the thing because you have to get the seal, because
Yeah,
the seal is the actual validity to make the paper really be what it is. But the seal comes from the U.S corporate state that's dissolved and bankrupt and insolvent since 1933. As 2014, you're going to go file papers with a
With
bankrupt
that
entity
stamp.
that's been bankrupt since
With that
1933?
stamp on there, yeah.
What? But, right? The conspirators, they are finesse masters, right? When you know, and don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just want to show, right? Just to show that I have some stuff, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I have some stuff, right? Okay? I have some stuff. So don't get it twisted, you know what I mean? I have some stuff. But, right? If the truth is that Noble Drew Ali came, right? And said that we're not Negro, black, colored, or African American, or whatever. We're not 14th Amendment citizens. We're
Yeah.
Moors, descendants of Moroccans, born in America, right? How come all these people are coming out saying whatever? Just saying, you know, oh yeah, we're black, we're African, we're this, we're that. We're everything except what we're supposed to be. And you can't not every avenue that we go down, you would realize that Noble Drew Ali already made a path like that avenue that you were supposed to go down,
Yeah.
but you just wasted your time going 50 years this way.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about how come we have to pay taxes and, you know what I mean, why doesn't all rights reserved work? And I tried to do it and they brought me in the back and they told me that they're not going to let me do stuff. And, you know, I thought this Moorish thing's supposed to get me out and this is more stressful. Yeah, because we've been playing around for
Yeah,
80 years.
exactly.
We haven't been
Wasting
serious.
time.
People have been wasting our time.
Time and energy.
People have been wasting our time. Knowing that Noble Drew Ali came. Knowing that he came. And forget, it's only because, we're only pointing at him because he came with a message. Right? And the message that he came with was for humanity.
The whole,
Especially us. Because we must be in we must be in a real serious situation if we're brown people calling ourselves black people. And there's people darker than us that don't call themselves black people. We must have some type of serious problem
And we operate in that.
if we're operating on that consciousness. So prophet had to come because you ain't getting lower than that. After that, you're you know,
You already got one foot in the grave, right? I
pretty
guess.
much, right? While they feed their sheep, they also shear them while eating. At the close of their day, the master will be heard to tell them, "You have your reward, get thee hence." Rare is it that you find a real prophet whose mission is the salvation of the nations. The land is full of false prophets whose mission is to fleece the people. The time was and now is that there should come into the land a prophet in the likeness of his brothers to redeem them from sin and slavery. Truly this prophet, Noble Drew Ali, is the man, bringing with him the message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which alone can save the nations. Like the coming of Yahshua, he does not come from the elect, nor the rich, nor the mighty in worldly power, but all power is given unto him to do good. This power is from Allah. It will be his works that will make men of every nation accept the truth that he brings. It will be through his teachings that the nations of the earth will understand the will of the master. Right? That's like a metaphysical statement. Right? Like he's speaking on a different plane. Right? It will be his works that will make every nation accept the truth. Right? That he brings. It will be through his teachings. It will be through his teachings. That's why he said study, study, study. And these teachings were to assist the sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation who had fallen outside of the constitutional fold of government and became Negro, black, colored, African, this, that, all these different labels, and then accepting that as the position.
So his teachings, I mean, there would obviously be some of this stuff. I mean, the 101s would be the 102s would be like the study guide.
Right. Exactly.
That would be almost like you would break that down and study everything
Right.
that he's referencing in there.
Exactly. Right. So that's what that's there for. And then you go read the Circle 7, and then it's going to tell you about a maxim, and it's going to tell you about, and it's going to give you now a broader perspective, which is going to make you, because automatically you're going to want to go out to find out. Hold on a second, like this is a lot deeper than I thought it was. You know what I mean? Especially when it turns into individuals being active, right?
Yeah.
'Cause when you start being active now, you know, it's
Oh, you're bringing about a different, I would think a different frequency.
right, you know. It will be through him that peace on earth and goodwill to all men shall come. It will be through his work that humanity will be brought from the slime of life and placed on the solid rock of salvation.
I sort of had a,
The slime of life.
I sort of had I got a sort of connection there from the Bible. They talked about through Jesus
Yeah.
that you will
Right.
that you will find salvation.
Yeah.
What I sense with this is it's the same thing, which is it's not through him, it's in acting, being like him. It's in doing, it's in, when they say it's through Jesus, most people think that it's through praising Jesus.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
really
When
about
it's really about his work or
you doing
Right.
his work to be like him, to then embody that spirit.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So in essence, I feel it's the same thing here.
Right.
Right? It's through him, but it's through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it's through those principles that will put you in his spirit.
Right.
Which
would then allow you to
right.
take your place amongst the affairs
Right,
of
it's
men.
not through, but that's why I sense, that's when they talked about how they messed with the King James Bible, where you keep thinking that it's through praying to him,
Right.
an outside
Yeah.
force.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
really
And
inside.
it's really inside. It's really
And
internal.
the slime part, I really realize too, because we really are in slime.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and this is back then. He's talking about we're in the slime back then.
Well, I mean,
So
to me, there's no real difference.
Right?
To me, it's
So
just a different sort of shade, but it's the
but
same
it's the
slime.
same slime.
I mean, I think Thomas
Right.
said it once best too. He said, just look at the mess the world is in. You know what I mean? Like, if we were on the right path, we wouldn't still be where we're at.
Right. Right.
And so that really stuck with me, thinking about, you see people starving on the street.
Yeah.
You see people, all this stuff, right?
Yeah. Moorish leaders' historical message to America. The Moorish Science Temple of America has received some opposition and criticism. In the main, the opposition has come from certain Christian ministers. They have expressed themselves as being opposed to our propagation of the Mohammedan religion, possibly because the promotion of the Mohammedan faith among our people in the United States is considered by them in terms as something new. Whatever the reason may be for their opposition, the legal right to oppose citizens, individuals, and organizations alike for their religious beliefs does not exist in the United States.
So read that last part again.
Whatever the reasons may be for their opposition, the legal right to oppose citizens, individuals, and organizations alike for their religious belief does not exist in the United States. The door of religious freedom made by the American Constitution swings open to all, and people may enter through it and worship as they desire. Without religious freedom, no search of truth would be possible. Without religious freedom, no discovery of truth would be useful. Without religious freedom, religious progress would be checked and we would no longer march forward toward the nobler life which the future holds for the races of men. Without religious freedom, there would be no inspiration to lift our heads and gaze with fearlessness into the vast beyond, seeking a hope eternal. It is a sad weakness in us, after all, to oppose our fellow men for their religious beliefs. And if there are angels who record the sorrows of men as well as their sins, they certainly know how many and deep are the useless sorrows that spring forth from such opposition. Possibly love and time will cancel our hatred in this regard and prove that in mankind tolerance is better than unwarranted opposition. So all these references that he's making about religion, right, has to do with a constitutional right.
Yeah.
Not a religious belief or faith that you follow. You exercise. He's not operating on this is,
this religion and
a religion.
We can't. Yeah.
Right? It's a right.
keep thinking back to when I now understood that religion means order,
Right.
right? So ultimately, there's no mention of God or Allah or anything there. It seems to me that we keep talking about your ability to have your own order.
Right.
But the Constitution guarantees that. Yet when your own order goes against someone else's order, i.e. some sort of controlling order at that time, all of a sudden now there's an issue,
Right.
right? And now they're trying to say we hope that through love this will be overturned.
Right.
In fact, now that it's come to me, I realize that it's in religiousizing, if that's not even a word, but making religious our order,
Yeah.
which is what has captured our order.
Mm-hmm.
Because order was about everything,
Right.
about life, about all that stuff. But we've now made it a religion. We've now made this religion, so-called religion.
Yeah.
We've now made this religion something crazy.
Yeah.
And look, this is what these guys do, and all this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So all of a sudden,
yeah.
what they've done is yet again, it's that same mind manipulation thing,
Yeah.
where we're missing the point. The order is how we interact with each
With each other.
how we love, how
Right.
we live. We've
Right.
taken that, made it something else.
Something completely different. Right.
And it's really scary because
And
you
it goes
realize
back to everything that he said, that, how that get created, but people following false prophets.
Yeah.
Guy comes and says, yeah, drink this. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what I said? This is what I said too, right? If we look back to
Right.
this and we think about the fact that we first fell when we did what we did,
Yeah.
so then our connection with the higher power
Right. Well,
got disconnected.
Got disconnected as well.
Now, their connection, their saving grace was Christianity.
Right.
Now, it obviously, when they state that, means that, because it was for their salvation,
Yeah.
earthly salvation, right? So therefore, there must have been some things that happened through that worshiping. There must have been some things that happened through that worshiping that actually were sort of divine,
Mm.
right? Through Christianity, it must have brought their people out of their despair. So then, at that point, when we lost our connection, we then turned to their connection to try and hopefully get back, right? So we were under the red flag,
Yeah.
but we then screwed up.
Yeah.
So the red flag no longer gave us any power.
Yeah.
Then we're looking over here, and the blue flag's giving these guys power.
Yeah. So let's go run for that blue flag.
And that's where it is, right?
Right.
Where we needed to just correct our position.
Right.
And probably correct our position here too,
Right.
right? I mean, sorry, that's how I sort of see it.
No. Right. Because I mean, even when we look at that, right? Noble Wally said, everybody else, has they say a flag, banner, whatever,
A tree,
right?
basically.
They have something, right? They have something to stick in the ground and say,
Yeah.
okay, we're making a claim on this,
Right.
right? Noble Wally came and told the Moors what their flag is, right? Since back then. And then people came after and make up flags, right? And say that that's the flag that we should be using, no different than somebody saying, this is the paperwork that you should buy because this paperwork is better than that paperwork because that paperwork doesn't have the seal that you get from you need that seal or whatever.
No, but
Right.
it's funny though, because it always seems to be some sort of authority that's higher than the actual real authority that needs to be, which is ourselves, right?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, this isn't a tax exempt card. It doesn't have the brand. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have the seal from here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Another thing I realized too with this flag thing. See, didn't they give this flag to Morocco in 1956?
Right.
Isn't that the flag that they then?
Yeah. They
Morocco
adopted.
Right. So yet again, this is what I realized. It's been a bunch of desperate Europeans continually trying to check this thing that is never going to be checked, right?
Yeah.
Because just at that point, who knows what was going on in 1952? I'm sure when we look back in the history, we see some. I think that must have been around the time of Oscar de Priest
Yeah.
and maybe those guys. Or, I don't know.
Well, that was back then. That was Juralis time. With the
1956, though, I'm saying.
Oh, in the 56?
'Cause I thought that was when the flag.
Yeah, that's when they got.
When
Yeah,
Morocco
flag. So, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that there
Yeah.
must have been something then
yeah,
that must have triggered the fact that we better have something out there.
Right.
A de facto something.
Right.
So that when you finally get to Morocco,
yeah,
you're looking over there.
yeah,
Rather,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
through it all, there's always been, and not, I mean that's
like
why I
they're
think
one step ahead type of.
well, not even one step ahead. I almost feel one step behind, but we're so behind.
Yeah, yeah,
The-
it kind of equals out.
We're 4 steps behind,
Yeah.
and they're 2 steps behind because
Yeah.
stuff is still going on, right?
Right.
The prophets are working now. We know this, right? We
Yeah.
can see even,
Right,
you know,
we know
you
what's
think
going
about. I gotta tell you this. I came pulling in here today with no spots.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I probably parked with him when I come upstairs. Just as I pulled in and pulled out and left.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's the kind of like just like
those are the
that.
ones right there.
No, but it's the same thing with what happened. Like we see what happened to us as as a drag and a hassle.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, to be honest with you, I thought to myself too. You know, part of me was a little bit scared because you know you never know.
Yeah, well,
You go down there, who knows?
yeah.
Maybe you and me are like you know
Yeah.
in some movie chained up in something, or you know what I mean?
In the
And I'm looking over you going, you know what I mean? You asshole, you're like, but you know, no, you think about that, right? And the power of the great one just said, hey. You ain't going. No, but you know what I mean?
Sure.
Me, you, and Amari in some basement, like, you know what I mean? No, think about that, right? And I'm just like, what? I guess I'm not making it to work on Monday, you know? Right? No, but you think about that. You think that. But this is where I realized that, because and I want to find the passage again. I've just been so much through the Quran that I can't. Remember, he speaks to us in small voice
Yeah,
and through other, and through,
mediums. Yeah,
No, it was two things. That's what Denham said. Through the still small voice and through other man.
right.
So guess who man was? Men were those Europeans.
Mm.
It was those Europeans speaking to us in a sense.
Yeah.
Because remember they kept coming back. What is this all about?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah,
Where are you
yeah.
going? What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they looked through it too. Because when I looked over it too, I said, this doesn't even like some of this didn't even really
Didn't drive.
didn't really like make sense. It was we were going on it for what it was, but really, like to them it probably didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So wait, we ain't even like you know what I mean? If it was legit, okay, guys, go ahead.
Yeah.
But they're like, what?
Yeah.
This doesn't. If these guys are buying this,
Spirit should probably jumped in them.
no.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The spirit jumped in them,
Yeah.
and that stopped us. And who knows? Now we are breathing and living.
Yeah.
Because of-
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I truly think that there are times like you don't know when you don't catch that bus.
Yeah.
You don't know that your life was just saved.
Yeah. Just because you didn't catch it. Yeah. Straight.
No, but you see, we never appreciate. I don't think we ever give enough credence to those kind of things. We just think, oh, this, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. No, but that's why I was saying back to that sort of religious stuff. That everything that has happened, and it's just so sad that everything that is happening is always a check to the balance that
Right.
keeps trying to be
To
created.
be created. Yeah.
Right? We're just trying to balance things out. No, you gotta keep it
Yeah.
right. It's this, it's that, it's religion, whatever it is. They just keep right.
Yeah. I remember a lot of it too is
What's our own?
their comfort. Their comfort zone is being challenged
Yeah.
by us, by Joe Brown saying, an authority of that guy. Who are you up there? You know what I mean? Just him.
Sorry, say that in the last part.
By challenging their authority, their comfort level is decreasing. They're less and less comfortable. The more people get active,
But
right? Like
yeah.
it's just like you're saying. The appearance is because we're so behind. That's why it appears that they're ahead.
Yeah.
But we're neck and neck with them.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
another thing that you beautifully brought that up because it now brings me to another point. The reason why we're so behind in general is because we're the ones who should be advancing all of this.
Right.
And they've kept us down. So it's like having the kindergartner, for example, having the person in grade 2 trying to run the show.
Right.
And it really should be the teacher.
Yeah.
The teacher's back here, and you got the grade 2 person
Yeah.
saying, okay, it's let me show you math.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's all backwards. So they can never go forward. until things get right.
Right.
But like you say, they're sitting in the seat, and they don't know. They don't.
They don't know what's up when they get up.
Yeah.
They don't know what's up.
But this is what I was going to jump to the other point, which was that it says that these people that are there are the ones. Well, actually, I don't think this holds true. We were the ones who've given them given them power.
Yeah.
But in reality, we haven't. They've just taken it.
Now they've taken it.
Right.
We did give them, but
did
even
give
the power that they have that they're using is based on them being even ipso jure Moorish subjects,
Yeah, 100%.
and they're just going harder than
Well,
anybody else.
Well, they've also disconnected the ipso jure part,
Right.
right? And left
Right.
them being,
Right.
and then reworked history and tried to institute themselves in it,
Right.
right?
As the ones that are the heads.
That's right.
Right. And I mean, everybody fell for the game for some point in their life.
Yeah.
If they weren't brought up Moorish American.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, but that's 100% the whole point.
Yeah.
The fact is that we didn't have a proper reference point,
Right. Exactly.
right?
Exactly. The prophet makes a plea to the nation on his knees, doing the right because everybody dropped the ball. Again,
Now
1929.
he's pleading with them.
So he's pleading with the nation now.
Please.
He's pleading with all the Moors everywhere that say that they're Moors, that used to be down with this, that left, that, whatever. All the Moors. Right? Because this is specifically to the nation. Right? But also, keep in mind that something like a plea to a nation is a political address. Right? It's not just I'm in dire straits, so help me. But it's like you're addressing the nation, right? Just like all other heads of government do. This is the level that he was on with saying, I'm addressing the nation in this thing called Plea to a Nation. And I'm going to put it in the newspaper. Right? It's not just
on your knees
begging. Right? So please. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I am calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing, right, again, the finance thing, right, to help this national government. For without a free national name, without a descent flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. This is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Right? Plea to the nation. And we'll notice that he was clear in saying that he's applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, right, which means there were unfaithful, unloyal ones, that he wasn't giving no attention or nothing like that. Forget them, right? Members, right? So people who are in the temple, right? So loyal, faithful Moors means that there were Moors that weren't part of the temple
Not
that were
necessarily
supporting Noble
going there
Jubilee.
every day.
Right,
Mhm.
right? Because he specifically said he's talking to loyal, faithful Moors, then he's talking to members.
Mhm.
So members is a jurisdiction of people whose mind frame is that this is just some building I'm coming to,
I'm a
putting my
member of.
name, get a stamp, and I'm a member of,
Of this.
and then that's it.
Or could it not be members of the MSTA versus Moors?
Right, because the loyal and faithful Moors might not be members.
Right.
They
But
might
being-
just be Moors.
Yeah, but being part of the MSTA might not be construed, though I think you're right in a certain way. Why would he make
Specify
specify that?
members.
That might be due to the fact that, like you say, that institution started to become something
that
that
has
wasn't.
maybe has many facets.
That's right.
That there are these people that are on a level that
Right.
they're members, right?
But like you say, are in it just because it's a sort of membership in a club.
Right, right,
Versus what it actually was, which was your bloodline.
right. Which nothing's wrong with being a member.
No.
Because member is synonymous with citizen,
That's
synonymous
right.
with
Oh, that's
right.
stuff.
So it's it's a position
Yeah.
for
I think he
people
was
who
covering
aren't,
all of
who
those
was covering the bases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. There's people who are that's where they're at.
Yeah.
So all right, that's why if you don't do anything, at least declare your nationality, right? If you don't do anything, at least tie yourself to this nation. You know, like I know you belong to other nations, okay, and you got dual citizenship, yeah, okay, well renounce one and at least attach to this one.
Yeah.
Because when the time comes, there's gonna be nothing else.
Yeah.
It's you got a claim. If you don't got a claim, then that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might not have anything. You know? And American citizens.
Which would be well, actually, in a sense, you know what? He's talking to three different jurisdictions, right?
Exactly.
Members are first.
We talk about members, loyal. Well, it could be four because there's talking about loyal, faithful Moors. So there's a comma.
Right.
So there's loyal ones,
And then there's faithful.
then there's faithful ones,
Okay, loyal, faithful, right?
right? Then there's members,
Members.
and then American citizens. To help him in his great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity.
But it's interesting. What he's asking them to do is uplifting acts,
Acts.
right? And what's interesting, it just came to my mind now. You know the male and the female sort of parts of our species, right? The female is the one that creates. The male is the action
Right.
thereof.
Yeah.
So looking at him as the spirit, he's asking you to be the action
Right.
of uplifting. He's needing you to do the work.
To do the work. You have to do the work. Just like we were talking about the other day. When we gonna have a Moorish school? Where you build it? That's when we'll have a Moorish school. Well, how are we gonna, not pay taxes when you start paying taxes? Then you'll show us what's up, and then we'll get on it.
We'll know how to do it.
Then we'll know how to do it too. Because that's how nations get down. The nations not talking about, you think you have Buddhists selling paperwork or being Buddhists? Right? There's some crooked Hindu guys that they're, yo. 1,500. We'll make you Hindu.
Talking rupees, right?
Right. I have have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. Right?
Yeah.
I've suffered because of misunderstanding.
Right.
How come there's misunderstanding? Because I'm only one person. So if I'm only one person and I tell everybody how to do something,
Right.
and then I go do something, and then I come back and people try to kill me and stuff like that, and hold on a second, this is not what I left.
See, it's interesting because it says a plea is a common law practice, a pleading.
Hmm.
It says, in the strictest sense, the answer which the defendant in an action at law makes to the plaintiff's declaration, in which he sets up matter of fact as defense, thus distinguished from a demurrer, which interposes objections on the ground of law. So in essence, he's pleading his fact of law,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
He's responding to the charges that it's been something else.
Right.
So yet again, he's still in law, right? His very language speaks of law.
All right. Plea. Middle English played, play. French, Old French plate, played. Latin placitum. Decision, decree. To please. Be decided. A legal suit or action. An allegation made by a party in support of his cause, as an allegation of fact. Compare demurrer. A defendant's answer to a plaintiff's declaration in common law practice. An accused person's answer to a charge or indictment in criminal practice. A plea of guilty to an indictment. Something alleged as an excuse, pretext. An earnest entreaty. Appeal.
That to me applies. Seems to be
Most definite. Most definite.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, and then we, whether we use the law dictionary or whether we use the unabridged dictionary, it still said that the definition of plea has to do with law.
Yeah.
But then people are going to say, oh, Noble Drawley had nothing to do with law. He brought religion, and why is he bringing a white man's religion to his people and all this type of stuff when he wasn't on no dogma or, you know what I mean? He was about,
Like as I said, I can't help but now see religion as being order.
right,
Right?
right.
But what they do is they convince you that religion is some guy up the front of some pulpit
Yeah.
telling you something.
Telling
right?
you something, right. The finesse masters.
See, I
Sweet
think
tongue,
that's
sweet tongue,
where,
man,
but
sweet
see, that's
tongue.
where I think the sorcery is.
Yeah.
Right? The sorcery is in all of the way that they have changed the words
Right.
and their spiritual meaning, right?
The voice of the prophet. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Then you will have power to redeem your race, because you will know who you are and your forefathers were. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come, good people, because I, the prophet, sent to redeem this nation from mental slavery, which you have now, need every one of you who think that your condition can be better. This is a field open to strong men and women to uplift the nation and take your place in the affairs of men. If the Europeans and other nations are helping me, why not you? It is your problem. The Negro problem is being solved only as it can, and that is by the Moorish National Divine Movement. If you have a nation, you must have a free national name in order to be recognized by this nation as an American citizen. This is what was meant when it said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things would be added unto you. Now he's saying also to be recognized by this nation as an American citizen. Right? And remember in the plea, He said he was talking to American citizens.
Mhm.
So there were loyal Moors
Mhm.
and faithful Moors, right? And then there were members, and then there were American citizens,
Mhm.
which American would be all the Aboriginal
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
right? Including Moors,
Of course.
right? And other American citizens, and other American citizens, right?
Well, those would be the sovereigns, maybe, possibly, right? I'm saying that could imply that, right?
As in, oh, like the Europeans who adopted
Yeah.
and are following the principles and
Would
right,
they then not be citizens
Right.
if they adopted that?
right, yeah, they would be citizens. They would be de facto citizens, but they'll be citizens.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be subjects.
Subjects,
Right.
Which might give them citizen-like,
Um,
citizen rights, I guess,
Right,
right?
right.
For lack of a better
Um,
status.
right. So a privileged status or privileges.
Versus,
Once they
versus,
yeah.
let's say, I mean, technically, none of us should be in any status other than that.
right, yeah, right.
In a perfect world,
Right,
right?
right.
Except for the ones who decided to say, hey, I'm
Say, hey,
Hebrew,
I'm a-
I'm black,
right, yeah.
because they got rid of slavery,
Yeah,
right? Forced servitude,
right.
in my mind.
But then voluntary slavery
That's what
still.
I'm saying. So if I decide to sign up, then
Then
that's
you
fine. But
can't
I'm still
get-
talking to the guy who doesn't want to be that,
Yeah,
right? The
Yeah.
American citizen,
right.
right?
Yeah, because they take their position that they're not going to be a nigger.
Anymore.
Yeah, because they got that already, and they're like, not.
Well, I think what's interesting though is you notice the powers that be are throwing those guys back to the wolves
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Everybody's getting their share right now. Everybody's getting their share. Where we at? 8:53. Oh, this one too. I don't think we ever put this one out. The So you're gonna
National vote.
research. Um, you're gonna research the man they can't deport. Right? Canada's bizarre and failed attempt to send the man with no name to Africa using dubious documents and a mysterious fixer. And this talks about all the fraud that Canada's running with fake passports, creating passports, have a guy who just goes from place to place, just getting people through customs and
Yeah,
stuff
all
like
types
that,
of-
take some fiat, and he'll do his job well and all that.
Oh,
Well, what you realize though, what you realize in all of this, right, is that nationality as a process is up for sale,
Right,
right?
yeah.
For the right amount of money,
The right amount of money, you can be a national of anywhere.
anyway. And more importantly, in the so-called Africa that they consider over there,
Right,
that's up for, they make reference to that.
Yeah.
Basically, the more corrupt countries. What's interesting is they throw mud on another country, right? I think it was Nigeria, trying to say that Nigeria is one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
yeah.
Meanwhile, it's the Canadians who have then made up the false
Document
false
or-
The false
documents.
documents to
and
try
then
to
and
make
send
him
them over there,
Nigerian, yeah.
And then send their boys over there,
Yeah,
who then basically are very lucky to get out of there without being arrested themselves,
Right.
because they're then
committing a fraud.
well, they're then, what do they do? Complicit in the fraud,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
By standing
Exactly.
next to the man and not saying that this is illegal.
Yeah.
You
You're
all of a
down.
sudden,
You're
you're
down
down
with
with
it,
it,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
don't object, so you're down, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy when you think about that, right?
yeah. Right? And everybody's, everybody's taking a national position except this guy who nobody knows where's the name.
A man with no name.
A man with no name, you know? Yeah, I saw it, but I saw it on this page. Okay, so the one name you can look up is Simic, SIMIC, Canada Border Border Service Agency, CBSA. Um, the so-called man with no name is Mr. Vogel, MVOGO. But the article should come off if you just put up right there.
So they can't do nothing with this dude.
Can't do nothing with them. They just have them. They just have them.
Mhm.
They
But
just
they
have them in
can't-
their possession and do it all to do them. They
They
try to
can't
take
enforce-
them places
Yeah.
and nobody's
No
not
one
going to
wants
accept the fake passports that they're
that
giving.
they're trying to give. So obviously Canada just put a name on the passport.
Yeah,
They
no, I
made
think
up
what
some
happened was he
identity
came in
for
from the States, he tried to leave, then they disproved, came in the States with an identity,
Then they proved that that one was a
they
fraud or
proved
something.
that that one was a fraud, but then they couldn't tie him to any other name.
But
Then he
then,
said he was from somewhere else,
Then they called and then he didn't pan out to be from there or whatever, so
right, so
he
then they
was
made up a
nobody.
name, but they
Uh.
brought in a fixer who was able to then go and pay some other dude, and supposedly there was some transfer of money
Mhm.
to get him into that place, but when he went over there, he was supposed to, and this is what's interesting, right? He was then supposed to agree or concur with what was
Right,
being said.
right.
And he
And he said
didn't.
And he
Nope,
didn't,
nope,
yeah.
And he
Nope.
didn't.
Right.
And
They're
that's
liars.
what then, and
Yeah.
that's what then.
That's what messed up the
that's
whole
what messed it.
thing,
So
yeah.
you realize at the end of the game, still it's about acceptance.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it still
offer
has
and
to come from
yeah.
acceptance from the actual individual.
Right.
Right? Because the instant he said no, all of a
That was it.
sudden, they say, oh, you're from Cameroon? He says, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
That was the end of it.
Right.
Right?
That's crazy.
Right.
It's just funny we brought in information and all types of
You know what I
stuff.
mean? Right? And they're the so-called government and they're doing all those stuff.
You all see the movie Argo? That's
Yeah, yo, I
blatantly-
just watched Argo
You see that,
like the
trust
other
me.
day.
That's
Yeah,
blatantly
yeah.
about frauds and
Yo.
passports.
Oh my
That's blatantly
gosh.
about fake passports.
Oh my gosh. I was like, this movie is crazy.
Yeah, well, you think about that kind of nonsense, that's what's going on.
That's what's going on. Right? And then, you know, you can't go across. Right? You know, but they can make up some fake stuff go across.
Yeah,
Go
no
everywhere in the
problem.
world.
Back, forth,
You know?
everywhere.
Well, you know what you do? You blame Dirty Morris. So they dropped the ball since 1913, 1929.
And I think
Dropped the
what you also
goddamn
have
ball.
to do is realize that the whole system is fraudulent,
Yeah.
right? Because they're doing everything that they're telling you not to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Everything
exactly
that's
what-
illegal,
Everything
they're
that's
doing.
illegal, they're doing, but they're telling you
Not
that
to.
Yeah.
you're not
And
to
you
do
can't
it.
do it.
Yeah, and they got some fines or jail time or
Punishment,
something
some
for
type
you.
of punishment.
Chair,
That's
you
right.
know what I mean? Injection bed or whatever. If you do something, right? That they're doing. That's why we just proclaim our nationality and we leave them
See,
alone.
you know what's interesting though? And we can finish, or like,
Yeah.
we're wrapping up very
Yeah,
soon.
we wrap
But
up.
what I realized is that, and I think I told you this before, the whole thing is like that. Anything that they're doing is wrong and illegal, but they're making it wrong and illegal to you,
Yeah,
right? Or you can't, for example, smoke weed. You can buy our cigarettes,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Or you
Yeah.
can't make any beer.
Yeah.
You can buy our beer.
Buy ours, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything has been predicated on this
Yeah.
system of control and everything being illegal, if not taxed or licensed.
Or licensed,
Right?
yeah.
And if you do that, then it's illegal, but if we sanction it, then it's okay. And this is where I realized the whole statement of the mark of the beast. Right?
Yeah.
It's all about if we've allowed you to do this, then it's okay.
Right.
If not, right? And
Yeah.
the same thing now, you realize this with this whole legalizing marijuana. If some doctor comes along and says that you need something to smoke,
Yeah.
no, it's
Then
okay
it's
now.
okay. Yeah.
But all the brothers, sisters, sovereign, non-sovereign, who are out in some park smoking a little joint for some anxiety, that puts you in jail.
Yeah.
That put you in jail last year. Right? But now you can get a license
Yeah.
to do the very
To do
thing
the
that.
same thing that we're
It's
saying
impossible.
that
And
we're
now
doing
that-
before. Islam Moors, you want to say give thanks to everybody for being online. We got Blog Talk Radio, 9:30. Moorish Heritage and History School, MHHS. MHHS, eyes wide open. Yeah, at 9:30. Right.
That's the subject for today, or that's?
No, that's the blog talk.
It's more.
Yeah,
History?
Heritage and History School, MHHS.
That's what
Eyes
it
wide
is?
open. Yeah, radio,
Okay.
blog talk online. This Sunday, remember Amazon.com, Mars in America. Go check the book out. Go support the book. Right. We're doing the Skype lecture this Sunday at the temple. Should be a good one. You already know how Canaan and Moors does. You know, we don't hold back nothing. We put up a 5 minutes and it tease you. You know, $15 for the DVD. You know, and all those stuff. You already know. We gotta put up the stuff, right? And then April 26th, don't forget the debate with the Lord Abba, with the debate with Ali Muhammad, right? So we could get the Prophet back in the seat of the minds of the people in the right perspective, because we can't just let the fakers just
Carry on with
the arms
I
race.
think you just say though, it's, it becomes acquiescence. If you don't,
If we don't do nothing,
if you don't do
then
anything,
we
then it's
default. No, we never let a judge default on something.
That's right.
We never let some company default on some rate. So, same thing goes for these Moors. Didn't read the stuff every meeting. So 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe,
Father of love,
Father of love,
truth, peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night
By night
and by day,
and by day,
through His holy prophet,
His holy prophet,
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Peace and love, Islam to all the Moors worldwide. 7's up. And see y'all in a half hour. Peace.
So this